We tend to think of sleep as just switching off, a period of doing absolutely nothing. But what if that's completely wrong? In this explainer, we're going to find out why sleep might just be the most active and important part of your entire day. It's a pretty wild idea, isn't it? The thought that while we're totally out of it, our brains and bodies are kicking into high gear to do some of their most critical work? Yeah, far from being just rest, sleep is a finely tuned, incredibly active process. So let's start by just tearing down the biggest misconception of all, this myth of rest. For centuries, we basically saw sleep as stopping, a passive void. But now we know it's this highly active biological process. Think of it less like a car parked in a garage for the night, and more like a Formula One car screaming into the pit stop. It's a frenzy of essential work, from repairing muscle tissue to recalibrating our emotional circuits. Okay, so if it's so important, how does our body even know when to start this critical night shift? Well, it all comes down to two internal clocks working together in this really elegant dance. And it's how these two systems work together that's so genius. The first system is a kind of sleep pressure that builds the longer you're awake. Think of that like an hourglass filling up with sand. The second is your internal 24-hour clock, your circadian rhythm, which tells your body when it's supposed to feel alert and awake during the day. It's the constant push and pull between these two that regulates your natural urge to sleep. So what exactly is that sleep pressure building up? Well, it's a chemical called adenosine. It steadily accumulates in your brain every single moment you're awake. And as those levels rise, so does your urge to sleep. And here's a fun fact. This is the exact chemical that caffeine blocks. That's why your morning coffee makes you feel so awake. It's hitting the mute button on your sleep pressure. And all this pressure is building towards one of the most incredible and vital functions of sleep, the brain's nightly deep clean. Okay, this is a relatively new discovery, and honestly, it's a total game changer. During deep sleep, the space between your brain cells, it actually expands. This allows cerebral spinal fluid to rush in and literally flush out all the metabolic junk that builds up during the day. This brainwashing system is almost completely shut down when you're awake, which makes getting that deep sleep absolutely non-negotiable. So what happens if you skip the cleaning crew? Well, that neurotoxic waste, stuff like the beta amyloid proteins that are linked to Alzheimer's, it just gets left behind. And over time, this buildup is now recognized as a major early-stage driver of neurodegenerative disease. It's a pretty sobering thought, isn't it? That the seeds of a future illness can be sown by nights of poor sleep right now. But the consequences aren't just some far-off long-term problem. Oh no, they are immediate, they are measurable, and they are pretty shocking. Check this out. After just 17 to 19 hours of being awake, your cognitive performance is basically equivalent to having a blood alcohol concentration of 0.05%. And if you push it past 20 hours, you're performing at the level of someone with a BAC of 0.10%, which is legally drunk in most parts of the world. Now, this isn't just an individual problem. When you scale this level of impairment across an entire society, the results, they're catastrophic. We are, in so many ways, a society just running on empty. I mean, take the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster. While a technical failure was the direct cause, the official investigation found that the managers who made that fatal launch decision, they had slept less than 2 hours the night before. Their judgment was critically, fatally compromised by fatigue. Or think about the Exxon Valdez oil spill. The ship was being steered by a third mate who had only slept for a few hours, which led to a catastrophic lapse in awareness. I mean, these aren't just isolated incidents. They're giant warnings written in history. And the danger isn't just from accidents. In 2019, the World Health Organization's Cancer Research Agency actually classified night shift work as a probable carcinogen. Why? Because working under artificial lights at night messes up our circadian rhythm and suppresses the hormone melatonin. And melatonin doesn't just help us sleep, it's also a potent cancer-fighting agent. If the human cost isn't enough, let's talk about the economic cost of our collective sleep debt. It is staggering. In Australia alone, the annual economic cost of sleep disorders is estimated to be $51 billion. And look where that cost comes from. It's not just healthcare. The biggest hits by far come from a massive loss in our well-being and a huge drop in productivity. It's a crystal clear sign that our failure to prioritize sleep has become a massive economic problem.
So, given all of this, how do we even begin to reclaim our rest? Well, the answer might lie in better understanding our own biology with a little help from technology.
We are entering a whole new era of understanding sleep. Technology is finally moving sleep science out of the expensive lab and putting it right on our wrists. These wearable sensors can track our sleep stages with surprising accuracy, and AI can analyze that data to help us understand our own unique needs. For the first time, we have the tools to actually manage our own sleep biology, democratizing a part of healthcare that was, for a long time, out of reach for most of us. We track our steps, our heart rate, our calories, but all of that is built on the foundation of sleep. It is the single most effective performance enhancer we have, and it's completely free. So, after seeing just how active and essential this downtime really is, the question isn't just whether we're ready to track our most vital function, but really, can we afford not to?